Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Alison Bedell.
Hey everybody, what's happening?
Hi everybody. Welcome to Hammer and Nails.
I'm Skip Bedell.
I'm Alison Bedell, and thank you again.
And you are the listeners.
Yeah, you are the listeners, and we're glad that we have a couple of you. Thank you.
There's like 3 now, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is it up to 3?
It's up to 3. You guys, I know that you probably don't even realize how fucking awesome we are doing this for free for like 3 of you. So
yeah, we really love you guys.
Yeah, because I was just taking
all 3 of you.
I was just taking like a seriously like long nap. Like I got home from work and I didn't even know what happened. I just sat on the bed. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh my god, it's hours later.
You were like wiped out.
Yeah.
And you came home and you were just like smoked.
Yeah.
You look like me after a long day of work,
Yeah.
construction.
And what did I do instead of staying in bed and turning on the TV?
Yeah, you said let's go record.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are at the ranch tonight at the Bedell household and on the construction. And not in the studio. We probably should have gone to the studio tonight, because, right? Like we wouldn't be sitting in dust right now.
Yeah, I know. It's very dusty. The whole house, despite Skip's efforts with the plastic everywhere, he's got those plastic walls up. It still permeates.
I do a lot of
tiny
dust control,
leaks.
and it's like, believe me, this is not dusty. You know, if you come on one of my job sites, like it's construction sites are dusty. You know, but this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's dusty to you, but it's not to me.
I'm going to pay a friend when you are done who does house cleaning to not just help me with this, but do this to do the majority of it.
Yeah. Well, we're a little ways off from that, but yeah.
Yeah, are we?
Yeah. Well, not really. No, like the worst part of it is over, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
because
demo
everything.
and the underground stuff and all that. So yeah. We actually have a floor again.
Yeah, you put in a floor today. We're making a little bit of progress,
So,
but there's still an opening, so we can't let the cats out yet.
Nope, not really. So have you looked in there recently?
In the opening?
Yeah.
No.
It's closed. Yeah.
Just the small piece from when I came home before from work?
No, it's gone. It's closed.
Really?
Have you been like in that part of the house? No, it's all
No,
closed
I've been
up.
sleeping for the last few hours.
Yeah, real nice. Nice, Bedell.
Oh, so we can let the cats out again?
Yeah, you could if you like.
Okay, sweet.
All right.
Everybody has been locked in our bedroom, which is not such a bad thing. We have a really big bedroom with the office attached to it. We've got a nice big bathroom. I've got the litter box in there. I scoop it twice a day. It does not stink. You'd never know there was a cat in there, or 2 or 3 actually.
How does that work?
Yeah. So
we have cats and it doesn't smell like cats.
And the cats are hairless.
If you go in someone's house that has cats and like as soon as you like walk through the front door, you're like, oh, they got cats.
Yeah. Thank God we're
it smells
not
like
that.
a cat box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like when we were away in California filming, one of our cats, you know how cats communicate with their piss and shit to let you know when they're not happy.
That's
they
great.
meow when you're in front of them, and when you walk away, they take a dump on your fucking pillow or something.
They just like spray something. Like they're trying to tell you that they're pissed off. Did I tell you the story? When I went on a ski trip one time, and one of my Rottweilers actually got onto my bed and took a giant dump right on my pillow.
No.
Yeah, I had someone coming, taking care of the house and taking care of the dogs and everything. And I came home to the rest of the house was super clean, you know, because the pet sitter person who the dogs loved, you know, was very happy, and the house looked great. And I'm like, oh, this worked out great. And I walk upstairs and put my luggage down, and there it was. Like, and you know, Rottweilers basically take like horse-sized dumps, you know, and it was directly square in the center. Like if they would have taken a tape measure and measured the center of my pillow, it was perfectly placed in the center of my pillow. And he was like basically telling me, like, you know what?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, fuck you. Don't ever do that again.
Your
Pet
pillow.
sitter or not, I don't care. You stay here with me. Yeah.
And now plop your head in my dump, you asshole.
Oh my God, that's what you want to come home to,
I had
right?
a very similar experience with a cat. I was 24. I had a basement apartment. It was really nice. It had a cute little couch. I'd gotten a hand-me-down couch from a nice lady. And I had this cat for a few years. And I went away on vacation with my boyfriend at the time for like a week. And I didn't have a pet sitter, but for one cat...
Just when you were doing guys?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is this pre-chick time?
This is I still had chick in the glimmer of my eye, but I was like, too scared to do anything about it.
I gotcha.
So for the cats, that if you got one cat, you really don't need somebody to come in every day. If it's a young cat, you can leave them food and water. So
right.
I opened up a giant bag of food and left it on my kitchen floor.
That'll
so
work.
The cat could walk into the bag and eat at its leisure. And I left a lot of water out, so it really didn't need anything else other than for somebody to scoop the litter box. But I suppose that would have been nice, but I didn't think of that. So we got home.
You didn't think of that. Like you left.
I always had
the
a
cat
big
an
litter box.
unlimited supply of food, and an unlimited supply of water, but no place to.
Well, I always had a big litter box, but
What do you think they were going to do with it? Where that food was going to go?
I was just going to get a full litter. Some people don't scoop their boxes for weeks, though. Like my cats.
Those are the people that I'm talking about.
Privileged.
You go into their house and they have a cat, and you're they have a cat.
Well, I was 24. I wanted to go on a fucking vacation to Myrtle
Gotcha.
Beach. You know what I'm saying? I that wasn't my top priority. Was scooping the litter box.
Right.
At least not
you
at the time.
were still in spring break mode, or a few years out of it.
Right.
Not too far out of it, but yeah.
So we came home from the vacation, me and the boyfriend, and we went to go hang out in my living room and watch some TV.
On your hand-me-down couch.
On my hand-me-down couch. And he laid down on my couch, and he swung his feet around and plopped his feet onto my couch, and his heel went square into a big pile of shit.
Oh.
Because that's where my cat decided to take a shit now, was on the couch, and his foot landed in it. So now that one pile of shit, though, became the cat's thing for the rest of his life. After that time, and I cleaned the shit off, and even after that couch was long gone,
right.
The cat continued to shit on the couch.
Even the next couch?
I moved in with my next boyfriend after that.
In a different place.
In a different apartment.
Different couch.
He had his own couch. He didn't have any pets. It was, there was no smell of anything else there.
So wait, you moved into his apartment?
Yeah, and he had nice things.
And now you bring your fucking cat who's shitting on his couch.
Yes, and he had a nice couch.
Yeah.
He had nice things. He spent money because he had money. So this cat started shitting on this nice couch.
You and the cat would have been out.
So then I had to buy... when grandma has a clear plastic vinyl tablecloth when you go for Christmas?
Oh, no.
I had to buy, the clear plastic tablecloth and keep it on the fucking couch so that it wouldn't get the shit permeating the material. It was a material couch, not leather. Okay?
That's the old velvet couch, right? With the clear plastic cover on it, from your Italian grandma.
No, it wasn't that, but it
and
wasn't
you
that.
sit
It
on
was
it, in the summertime, and the back of your legs stick to it.
But this was, this was the tablecloth. So, which means that it wasn't well fitted.
Oh, it was just like a giant
it was
clear
huge.
sheet?
Yes. But not only that, but this fucking cat shit on the vinyl tablecloth in the same spot it was always shit, and then it would scratch to cover it, and it would pull the plastic over it to cover it. So you'd come home to a big ball of plastic cover with a shit inside of it.
Now you got to unwrap the shit.
Yes!
It was gift wrap for you.
Yes.
Wow, that cat would have been so gone. Oh my God.
And it was back in the day when I was a lot younger, before I had, you live and you learn and you grow. And back then I was always an animal person. I always had cats. I always had a pet. But back then I didn't know, not to discipline a cat. You know what I mean? Rather than try behavioral modification, I would punish the cat. I would put it in a carrier and leave it, in its carrier for 12 hours, as punishment. I would yell no at it, which I feel very guilty about.
Oh, yeah, that'll work. No!
20 years later
No!
or so. Yeah, I thought the
Yeah,
cat would
worked.
get the hint.
So what do you do for something like that? I mean, for those people that are listening that have an unruly animal that just decides it wants to do whatever the hell it wants to do you call Caesar Milan, or what do you do?
No, Caesar works with dogs.
Right. But I mean,
you might want to spend
whisperer?
You might want to spend $300 on a pet communicator, we did after Kilo died.
Yeah, no. I think you get rid of the cat.
And have her find out what the cat, what the fuck. But you know what?
Is there a cat whisperer?
Kind of.
Or is that you?
There's
is that you on a lesbian date?
No, remember that.
Your pussy whisperer.
Unfortunately, that pussy wasn't receptive to my ways. Oh yeah. You remember that freaky guy that had that show, My Cat from Hell, and on Animal Planet, I think it is.
Yeah.
And he filmed with the same production company that we do for Contractor.
Yeah.
Remember, I think the first time we were at the production studio, we walked by a huge wardrobe rack of his weird freak shirts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very odd. He's very odd. He actually goes
I watched
to
the
people's
show a
houses.
couple times. It was interesting.
He pinches he checks the litter box and he takes out the poop and squeezes it to check on the texture of it with his bare fucking hands.
Come on.
Yeah, bare hand. Okay. Now I am all for checking poop for to determine health issues because it really does say a lot.
So he picks it up and rolls it between his fingers.
He squeezed. He didn't roll it, but he squeezed it with his bare fingers, which really grosses me out.
What was that supposed to tell him?
To determine if the cat is having a health issue, maybe that's why it's bothering him. Now, I can say that is wise in one respect. Like right now, our cat Curly, he has IBS, and that was discovered 6 years ago. But he's been on medication ever since. But about 4 months ago or so, he started getting diarrhea again. So I took him to the vet. And she told me to change his diet and put this probiotic on his food. So I changed his diet to stop picking your fucking finger. You're going to make it bleed. I swear, it's going to hurt right there with little hangnails. Anyway, so she told me to give him this protein diet, more protein. So I've been giving him that freeze-dried raw by Stella and Chewy. And ever since I've been doing that, and he has no fiber in his diet, now he's taking these petrified shits.
Oh, yeah.
They come out already petrified.
It's like a rock.
Yeah, and then if you go to touch it, pick it up with paper, it crumbles. It crumbles into sand. It's like there's absolutely no moisture in this poop. And he does it on the pad, sometimes in front of the litter box, the wee-wee pad. That's his way of telling me, yo, Mom, I'm shitting rocks. You might want to fix my fucking diet, you asshole. So maybe that's what.
Maybe feed me something something different.
That cat that was shitting on the couch ended up dying at 7 years old. At the same apartment, he had what I believe to be maybe a heart.
He would have died a lot sooner if you were living with me and that was my couch. He would have been like, "Hey, what happened to?"
He died so young that he must have had an illness that I wasn't aware of.
What happened to Kitty?
And that was his way of telling me.
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a week. Hey, where's Kitty?
I even tried when I lived at my apartment where he started that shit. I got so frustrated with him, I tried to kick him out. I opened the door. I'm like, out! You're an outdoor cat from now on. Fuck you! Because I was never about having an outdoor cat because it's dangerous out there. But I couldn't take it anymore. I kicked him out.
The streets.
Kicked him out. Get home from work that day. Kicked him out in the morning. Get home. Fucking cat's in my apartment. I'm like, what the fuck? The fucking landlord who lived above me in the house saw my cat outside. Oh, the cat got out and put it back in.
Oh,
so I come home to the cat and a pile of shit on the couch.
Hey, thanks a lot, dude. You're the best, man. Remind me to change the fucking lock on the door. Yeah. Thanks, pal.
Oh, man, I had fucking issues in that place. That was actually, awesome. That basement apartment was my first experience.
Was that the one that flooded or something? Didn't you have a water problem there?
No, that wasn't that one, but this was it was mold. Oh. Serious mold that I couldn't smell, but it had all of the effects, with the sneezing. As soon as you walk in, I developed a very serious sinus condition every time I would have somebody come over. They would start sneezing. Wow. It was really fucking bad.
Well, you sound like a great date, man. Like your cat shitting all over the place, and fucking mold in the walls. You can't see it. Every time I come over, I'm sneezing.
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
trying to make out with you. I got snot running out of my nose.
Let me tell you something about that. I was 24 years old and living on my own.
Yeah.
Unlike some motherfuckers who are out there still living with mommy, okay? I was 24. From the minute I graduated college and moved out of the dorm, I moved in on my own.
All right, well, you should be on your
paid
own.
My own rent. That's right. But
good.
I'm saying, you know how it is. You got to go through all those experiences and shitty apartments and shitty furniture, and you can't afford shit. Yeah.
You had plenty of shit.
I know. I had lots of shit.
You didn't even need to pay for it. What do you mean you can't afford shit? You got it for free.
Oh my God, that fucking landlord! I remember one time because of all the moisture in that place and the mildew, I tried to open the window because there was, it was a basement apartment. So there was a couple of windows, one in a bedroom and one in the living room. So I went to open the one in one of the bedrooms. It was a 2-bedroom. I opened a window so that when I was taking a shower and all the steam and it made more moisture, I wanted to get some like fresh air in this place because it's a moldy basement. It was beautiful though. They had it really nicely finished. It was beautiful. And there was a fucking huge hole in the window screen one day, and the window was closed. I'm like, what the fuck? The fucking house owner poked his finger in a hole in the screen to pull the window shut so I wouldn't let the air conditioning out. You fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't happy.
But, all right, so you had a separate zone, a separate air conditioning down there or something, so I guess maybe he wants to keep the electric cost down or something, so I got you.
Yeah, but he was, like, killing me, like, literally.
It's like trapping you, sealing you in the mold-infested box.
Yes, I was ill from that place, and I didn't realize it until, like, much later. When other people would come over and they would start sneezing right away, I'd be like, what the fuck's going on in here? I hadn't associated with an apartment because, again, live and learn. I hadn't had any basement apartment or black mold experience.
Yeah, mold is serious stuff.
Yeah, I left every piece of furniture that I had in that apartment when I moved out as a fuck you.
Yeah.
Now you can fucking deal with the moldy shit and smell and furniture and all that bullshit. I left all my furniture
You
in there.
cat shitted up.
Because I'm not going to take my mold furniture with me now.
Take
you know
your
what I mean?
cat shit couch.
Got mold spores in the air.
Mold.
Yeah, man. Yeah, take a seat on my couch after I move out, motherfucker.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I want to come visit you. Let's hang out, man. Mm-hmm. Let's make out in your mold box. Cat shit couch. You're sexy. I want to date you.
That's when I was dating that state trooper who used to wear my panties.
Catch. Wow.
Yeah, when he used to wear my thong underneath his trooper uniform.
Okay. Well, you have had a very interesting life, I have to say. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, maybe that had something to do why I might as well just go out with chicks,
Yeah.
Guys I'm hanging out with are wearing my panties.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And a skirt. I had this is like
come
back
on.
then
You
in
didn't
the
tell me
90s.
about the fucking
Like,
skirt.
no, this is, what was it, the 90s? Like, yeah, it was the early 2000s when, like spandex, biker shorts, spandex skirts, all that kind of shit was in. Yeah, so he would put on my skirt.
Wow.
I swear to God, it's so weird because at the time I thought nothing of it.
Wow.
I just thought it was funny.
Wow.
Like the way he went about it, like, oh, let me put this on hot. Because he used to work out at the gym every day. He was heavy into the gym.
Right.
So it was like he was like so manly that I didn't make the association. Like I just thought it was funny. Like, look at you all like muscular with my skirt on,
Right. That's funny.
But years later, then after I came out, and I had already been out for a few years, and I ran into him again. And
at the gay bar?
No, but he wanted to come with me to Cherry Grove. We went on the ferry together. He wanted to wear my gay pride bracelet I had on. He wanted to wear my bracelet. And we went to the beach together. And then he told me a story about how his ex-girlfriend had a brother who sucked his dick.
What?
Yeah, so I guess he had a little bit of gay in him.
A little bit.
Which was fine by me, and I thought that was cool too. I'm okay with that. But it was just in that. Oh, now it makes sense.
Oh yeah. All right. Here's a pair of panties. All right.
I feel like now maybe you can be nice to me.
Maybe you girls can go clothes shopping now. Right? You can pick out some heels together and stuff.
God.
Wow.
He's still single, and he's got I think 5 other siblings, and I'm going to venture to say that has a lot to do with it because some like macho. He's Latino. A lot of people in that culture, you just can't come out because, you know what I mean? Like, the family will just never accept it. Right. Like, they're very religious and they're very tight-knit family. And so I think he just would rather stay single and treat girls like shit rather than just come out and be with a guy.
Right. All right. Well, good luck to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on? What's happening in the news?
Like we had hopped right into it. We hopped right into it, and I just want to remind everybody because it's getting closer now that it's March. On April 9th, you're going to be at the Nassau County Home show.
Absolutely.
So that's
it's going to be a great show, actually.
Yeah.
Anybody, if you guys got stuff you're doing on your house, any projects you want to see, all sorts of demonstrations and great product booths, everybody's going to be there showing off their goods and products and talking about all their services.
We'd like to meet you guys, too. We'd love that. So,
come on out. We're doing some meet and greet.
We're going to be there like all day, even though we're only supposed to be there from 12 to 3.
I'm doing a quick seminar, right, on how to get a contractor and not wind up on our show.
Yeah, exactly.
All the things you need to do to get the right contractor on your job. So.
Yeah, so if you live within like a 3 hour radius.
3 mile, that would kind of narrow it down. There'll be like one person there. We'll probably get our one podcast listener to show up. I love you guys.
Oh, yes, so Ralph, we'll see you there. Ralph Gambali, we'll see you at the show.
Yeah, Ralph will be there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think he's the only listener we have.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, you guys are awesome.
Yeah. So
we love Ralph.
Yeah. He's so nice. He came down to
his wife Maria is the best.
Yeah, he came down to meet us when we were at the Javits Center at the what was it, the bike show?
Yeah, the New York City motorcycle show. Yep. What a nice guy.
Yeah. We have actually now. So I mentioned at the end of the last episode that we had a major technical difficulty, and it was my fault. And what had happened was, in an effort to talk about a story that I wanted to look at on the internet, I opened up my internet browser and looked for it, which I had already established in previous episodes was a no-no while recording, because then it starts to fuck our recording up and we get all kinds of skips in it. Not skip Bedell's, but like skips as in hoppity jumpity. And it didn't sound right. And so I had to cut out a shit ton of material, and some of which was the Facebook questions from the listeners. So we're going to hit all of those today. But when I was discussing that with Gary, he had given me a really good suggestion, and in addition to saying never ever do anything with your laptop while you're recording, what you should do is get your iPad. He didn't even know I had one, and we happen to have one. He said, get your iPad and use that. I'm like, holy fucking shit, light bulb above my head. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, so I took the iPad that we've actually
Or how about your phone that you never
used.
shut off? That's constantly
but it's too small.
going
You know what I mean?
ding.
It's too small. Like when I want to flip through it, like read something, it's too small. So I've got the laptop in front of me, and where I'm going with that is I like to listen to podcasts and like have things in the background while I'm working at work. So I took this thing with me to work, and I tapped into the Wi-Fi at work, and I watched 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, well, there you go.
So let me tell you about that.
That's great.
So you can't hit any porn sites while you're on the Wi-Fi. Like you can't, like if it has the word sex or anything, even if it's not a sex site, if it's got some like keywords, it won't let you get to the website. It'll say like, welcome to, blah, blah, blah county court system, Right. But if you have an app, you can use your app, so whatever, which I did. So
you can watch 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. Or listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really pay full attention because I'm, like, multitasking. I need to have, like, I got, like, ADD. Like, I need to have something going on in the background sometimes while I'm doing, like, just, like, ambient noise or something. Oh. But what got my attention was this one particular scene in the beginning of the movie that there's a scene where the girl works in a hardware store. Yeah. The main character, Anastasia Steele. And she had already met this guy, Christian Grey, at his place of business. He owns some corporation, whatever. He's like a billionaire. And she had interviewed him for her friend for a school paper. She's in graduate school. So now he like really falls for her, and he's going to go surprise her at this hardware store to go talk to her for the first time, like in person, like personal conversation. Shows up there. And so she's like, oh, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I needed to get some things. She's like, oh, well, what did you need? He's like, some rope. Like, okay, come over here. So she goes over, by the rope, and she cuts it, and she's like, wrapping it up for him, Is there anything else I can get for you? Yeah, I need some cable ties. Okay, let's go over here. Here's the cable ties. You can get this size, and this size. Okay, I'll take those. Is there anything else I can get for you? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I need some duct tape. Oh, it's over here. So what caught my eye about that, obviously, or my attention, was that was our love story at the hardware store.
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly how you and I began.
Yeah.
Having our first conversation
That's right.
ever.
That's right.
Was, can I help you with anything?
That's right. Yeah.
And then again and again and again for an hour and a half of, can I help you with something? Well, I kept making things up that I needed.
And we talked about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we had googly eyes at each other, and I was like, my heart was beating so fast, and I wasn't listening to any of your answers because I was just so lost in your eyes.
Oh, that was a nice day.
So yeah, so that movie got a lot of mixed reviews.
And then she proceeded to go home and use all of those things with him, right?
No, not right away, but this is people who are into BDSM hate this movie. And people who read the book, I think that because they get like a vision in their mind, or they have like a standard of how they envisioned it, you know what I mean? So they either don't like it, or they couldn't wait to see it because it's, like the making of the book that everybody was like so fucking addicted to. Everybody's buying this book.
Right.
So I hadn't read the book, so I was curious about the movie. And I'm just going to first off say it sucked. It sucked really bad. I'm not talking about suck dick. I'm talking about it sucked as in really fucking bad. So the acting, I wasn't digging it. The characters, for this particular type of a story, the guy who played Jax on Sons of Anarchy? Yeah. He was supposed to play the lead role. He didn't, for whatever reason. And some other guy did, who I never heard of, or... In a movie like that, you want to be attracted to the main characters. You know what I mean? Like if you can't wait for them to fuck because they're hot, and you know what I mean. So you can like fantasize or whatever. Like you want to see hot people fucking, not like people who were like, whose fucking sister was that? You know what I mean? Like first of all, I didn't find either of them attractive, or even like I didn't want to see anything on any of them. Like
you didn't want to see any of that action.
No, like none of them, like nothing about them like captured my interest, Right. That was first thing. Second thing is Dakota Johnson, who is the daughter of Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson.
Oh yeah.
It's first of all, she's really to me it's like freaky, because growing up watching with the Miami Vice. And then Working Girl.
You're a Miami Vice fan.
Like a Working Girl with Melanie Griffith.
Back in the 80s, yep.
She's like a strange, like fucking combination of their two faces, you know what I mean? So it's like Don Johnson with titties and Melanie Griffith's baby voice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
So she's got that baby voice, and she talks like that, like with Melanie Griffith. She got the same voice, and I was like, oh God, just like that turns me off. And thinking about Melanie Griffith, that turns me off.
So the movie wasn't working for you.
It wasn't working for me. This chick
didn't do it for you.
No, she's wearing like granny panties in this, and even after like she got like into the sex with him, she still never went to G-string. You know what I'm saying? It was like him pulling off her granny panties didn't turn me on.
Bloomers.
Yeah.
They have like big lacy, like frilly.
Some of it
like,
had lace
edges,
on it, but still it was like
edges. Like
she's like stick thin. She got like no titties. She's really skinny, very flat ass, and you're wearing granny panties. Like, why? What is this? What's going on? I can't stand it.
You're like, what am I looking at?
No, and the acting was like just the storyline. It was so forced. I just hated it. I watched it right to the very end.
Wow.
Waiting to see if something good would happen.
Well, that's how they got you. They keep you in there, so you keep watching. Keep watching. All right. Any minute, something really good is going to happen.
Is anything going to interest
me? Any second now. Wait. Here it is.
I know. I kept thinking, like, am I like, oh, shit. Am I going to get, like, turned on while I'm at work watching this thing? Nope. Nothing.
You were hoping to get a little rise?
I wasn't hoping to. I just wanted to see the movie, and I know that, like, you and I always watch things that we both want to watch together.
Pick out the old pocket rocket on the desk drawer?
No, there is no pocket rocket in the desk drawer. There's an expandable baton, and there's some pepper mace spray.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very exciting.
No, I'm not going to use either of those on myself.
Oh, no.
In any way, shape,
so you're not
shape
going
or
to use
form.
either one of them on me either, so...
Oh, we could do a little S&M with my baton.
Nope.
And then I can be thinking to myself when I'm using it on like on a criminal, like, you don't know where this thing has been. As I'm hitting him with it, I'm like, I remember when I hit skip with that.
Yeah,
That's
not going to happen.
No.
So what do we got in the news? What's happening?
Oh gosh, so And we're going to hit the listener questions after because there were some things in the news that I found intriguing. Okay, so first of all, there's this one story that actually it really just disgusted me to no end. The title of this article: "Cat torturing goon tricked roommate while abusing her pet."
Cat torturing goon.
Yes. So listen to this shit. Okay, because there's a reason I'm going to be talking about this story. It's so I can tell you who the fuck did it. Just in case you happen to live in New York City and, you want to pay the guy a visit in court, or, if you happen to run into him, you know who he is, so that, you can tell him how disgusting he is.
Okay.
Or otherwise. Accused kitty-bashing creep Declan Garrity. That's spelled Declan. What the fuck kind of name is that? 24 years old, was arrested on Wednesday as Lucy the cat battled for life with injuries ranging from a shattered leg to a fractured pelvis to burns on her tail. The pet owner had reported him to police when she came home from work on Saturday to find the 8-pound cat badly injured and cowering beneath her bed. The cat was normally, of course, very social.
The cat was normally on the couch taking a dump, and now it's in the bed with a busted tail and a cracked rib. I mean, what the fuck?
So now she was crying. Hair was missing from her tail. Her foot was not even facing the right direction.
Do a little sidestep.
Veterinarians diagnosed the abused animal. Did you say sidestep?
I'm just thinking,
Veterinarians diagnosed the abused animal with 2 right leg fractures, a fracture of the left pelvis, burns on several parts of the body, broken claws, broken teeth, and severe muscle damage. According to a Manhattan criminal complaint, Garrity attempted to cover up his cat bashing by telling the owner at one point that an iron accidentally fell on the cat while she was at work.
20 times. The iron fell off the ironing board 20 times. I picked it up and it kept falling on the cat over and over again.
He was charged, this is my favorite part, he was charged with 2 counts of aggravated cruelty, one for causing extreme physical pain and the other for acting in a depraved, sadistic manner. He also faces a 3rd count of torturing or injuring the overmatched cat. The cat is right now in the hospital with a tube helping her breathe. The medical bills right now, just on a side note, are $12,000 and climbing.
And who's paying that?
I guess
I'm thinking not Declan.
No, I'm sure she's going to probably sue him civilly, and she will win. But what just blows my fucking mind is, it says right here, actually, the family set up a GoFundMe account in an effort to raise $5,000 in medical costs. So you can look that up. Can you fucking believe this asshole?
No, I mean.
So first of all, that this is what?
Well, what happens with these people? These kind of dudes, like serial murderers. Like this is like where they're starting out, Because let's start out on small animals when nobody's watching, because we're coward assholes.
As, fact.
Yeah, and then they work their way up to people when they get bored with that,
right.
So
because this is still a young guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is behavior that obviously someone needs to be dealt with in a couple of different ways. Now, I always go back to my old saying that I think is the perfect remedy for someone like this, and a lot of other countries in the world are using this right now actively in their justice system. We are not, but I think we should implement it, is that the punishment should match the crime.
Right.
If you rape somebody, get your balls cut off.
Pull this fucker's fingernails out.
If you beat someone like that, you should be beaten.
Break his fucking bones.
Yeah,
Pull out his fucking teeth. Break his teeth.
I promise you that if that was the punishment, because he's going to wind up getting some pled down bullshit, whatever.
Right.
And, he'll keep doing it, and then eventually he'll wind up killing someone. But if that was the punishment, he wouldn't do it again.
Right. And what disgusts me the most, as you all know, that I'm disgusted with the criminal justice system and the lack of justice.
No,
is
really?
that animals.
We never heard you talk about that.
Animals are not taken very seriously in the criminal justice system, and even if there was a felony charge in this case, it will be pled down to a misdemeanor, and he'll get a smack on the ass and like a $25 fine. It depends on, if he pays for an expensive attorney, that's what he'll end up getting. So,
all right, so everybody go online and visit
Declan.
Yeah, visit his Facebook page. Send him a nice message.
No. If you're in jail right now with him, treat him like the child molesters get treated. Please.
I don't think anybody's in jail listening to our podcast. So.
Well, if you end up in jail and you find yourself in a cell with Declan Garrity, please treat him like a child molester and serve justice.
Go. All right. Thanks, Declan.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
So that's what has...
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay. NYPD Captain clocked out after 2 cops were shot in Brooklyn. So an NYPD captain was stripped of his gun and shield for turning a blind eye to a police-involved shooting that ended in his own precinct. In his precinct. He was working in Crown Heights when an unhinged gunman shot and wounded 2 officers less than 3 miles away. The wounded officers were rushed to the hospital, and this guy was like, shipped over, though. See you later.
He's like, hey, I'm out.
Bye-bye.
So long.
Yeah, so instead of showing up and helping to organize visits for the wounded cops' families, he went home. So, first of all...
So what do they do to, reprimand that guy?
They demote him. He was in a probationary captain spot.
So he's on probation to show, I'm going to be a really good captain. And here's a perfect example of just what I'm going to do.
People told him what was going on, and he said, I'm off duty in a few minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So first of all, you don't even deserve to be a police officer because you're not human. Because when something like this happens, it's your fucking that's your family.
Right.
It's like that's your fucking family. It's a brotherhood. It's like a camaraderie. Like, it could have been any one of us. It could have been you. It's just a given that everybody is going to gather together and figure out what the fuck happened.
Well, if you think about
support
it,
the family.
in his defense, now I don't know all the circumstances, but it could have been like a Sunday night, and Walking Dead might have been coming on in a few minutes. Listen, you and I have both been known to cut out of some very nice social occasions, some parties, and hey, where'd they go? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sunday barbecues and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Blame it on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Nope.
He
had something to do. Maybe he's got a really hot wife and want to get home and bang.
I don't know, but he was supposed to be at the hospital. I mean, that's part of his job. Part of his job is to be there's a hospital plan after police officers get shot. He was supposed to be at the hospital. He's supposed to give support and leadership because, all these cops are gathering at the hospital. You have to be a go-to person for the family.
I'd imagine there's got to be press conferences and all kinds of things that everybody wants to have answers of what's going on with these cops that were shot.
Right. So,
all right. Well, hey, good job, Captain.
Yeah. So I'm just disgusted with that, Captain. So if anybody happens to know him, you can let him know that I think he's a real fucking asshole.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving us your opinion on that.
Yeah. I'm just going to give you a little tidbit. We're not even going to get into this story because you already know what I think about Bill Cosby, the rapist. But he's dropping the lawsuit against Beverly Johnson because he was suing his accusers for defamation of character or for
Bill's got a few other problems on his plate right now.
Yeah.
To try to get somebody in court over defamation or slanderous
He's dropping these suits so he can focus on his criminal case right now because they pressed charges against him for that other case where he had given the testimony admitting that he drugs women so he can fuck them while they're sleeping. You loser.
Listen, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, There's been a few times when you were asleep and I'm like, that looks pretty good. But, I didn't want to wake you, so, kind of hit it easy, Couple tap, tap, tap. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. You don't even know.
Yeah, but the difference is I wake up looking at that beautiful face where they had to wake up looking at that pudding pop motherfucker ugly son of a bitch.
Jello pudding.
Yeah, I'm hearing fucking Joe in my head right now going, Jello pudding pop. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine that ugly, waking up to that ugly fuck?
I just always hear Fat Albert's voice because he was the voice of all the Fat Albert kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not only did what he do is disgusting, but he looks, oh my God, who would fuck him at all on purpose?
That's what I'm saying. So think about it, man. You got to walk around with a bag full of the Quaaludes to get laid,
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, that is one highly unattractive piece of shit.
Got to do what you got to do. I mean, even if it involves dumping a handful of pills in someone's coffee.
God.
Everybody got to get some.
You're an idiot.
No, I think that it's pretty clear that the numbers speak for themselves. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't just be some mass conspiracy against Bill Cosby. Women's across decades of time and generations all decided to get together.
Right.
That have never even met each other.
And they happen. They
Let's
all
conspire.
happen to have met him. What a coincidence! How the fuck did they? It must have been like a Craigslist posting.
What's funny is some of the older ones and the younger ones were not even alive at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a difference is in age there is.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any conspiracy going
That's
on
a
there.
lot of Quaaludes.
That's just a pattern
Do you
of.
still make those things?
I don't know. I can't say that. I can't comment on that.
LA is seizing tiny homes from the homeless.
Tiny homes.
Yeah.
I love tiny homes.
Some dude
That's a great show.
built and donated the little tiny homes, and they have solar-powered lights and American flags on them. And the guy who did this, he was an LA resident who was once homeless. So he put these little houses on encampments, on overpasses along the 110 for homeless people to use instead of tents.
Well, Lord knows there's plenty of homeless people in L.A.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, for
if
one
you're
thing,
driving around, you go underneath the highways and stuff. That's where they all.
if you got 1/10 of a brain left and you're homeless, go to LA because it's warm, motherfucker. So you don't have to deal with New York City winters.
There's a whole
Holy
population
shit.
there, right?
Yeah, I mean and they can live on the beach
because we fly back and forth from LA to New York all the time, and it's funny because we see a lot of that. We stay in Venice Beach when we're out there. So Venice Beach is kind of known for that. Also, there's a big community of homeless there. They're kind of welcome there on the beach and stuff. It's like the quintessential beach bum,
right,
if you will, right? And then we come back to New York City. We were just in the city a couple days ago, and it's zero, and you see a homeless guy all huddled up on a cardboard box on the sidewalk, freezing his nuts off. And I'm like, dude, you got to get to California, man, because they're surfing over there, bro.
Yeah.
They're in the fucking skate park on the beach.
Yeah, they're using the fucking free shower outside. They got their own bathrooms on the beach. They're open 24/7.
There are showers and bathrooms that are open 24/7 on the beach. So basically, the whole homeless community out there they bring their tents and their sleeping bag. They camp out on the beach because it never rains there, and it's fucking 70.
And they don't get shooed away.
It's 70 degrees around the clock. So it's perfect environment.
Yep.
They got an oceanfront property, shower, bathroom.
For free.
Yeah. Hey, if this show thing, this TV thing doesn't work out, that's where I'm going. Right out there.
Do you remember?
I'm going to strap on my worn out Birkenstocks and fucking hang out on the beach.
Do you remember last year when I was on the Dr. Drew's CNN show? They had me be a correspondent, but we had already come home, so they had me go to the New York City CNN building to be on the show. And I had a huge garbage bag full of scarves. I was like, I hate to
Oh,
so,
you and that fucking bag of scarves
so
that we
I took the
dragged
bag.
around. This bag was 100 pounds, which I was carrying
No!
fucking Santa Claus.
No, you weren't.
What
I
do
was
you
by
mean?
myself, motherfucker, that day.
Oh, that was a different day.
That's
then.
my point. Is that bag was so heavy.
You carried that bag,
and I
so now
took
you know.
that bag with me.
I know exactly how heavy that bag was.
Yeah, so I took the train. I took the bag with me. I got out of Penn Station. I'm walking around with this big, heavy fucking bag by myself, thinking as soon as I see a homeless person, I'll be like, "Here, you want
He's
this?"
going to dump 50 scarves on him.
Right. But my thing is that, first of all, as I was in Penn Station and leaving Penn Station, I didn't see homeless people. And I
How
did
is that
not.
possible?
I don't
You
know.
did not see homeless people in Penn
don't
Station.
know. But I didn't want to leave the bag of scarves anywhere because you know that whole if you see something, say something?
Oh.
And there's cops everywhere all around Penn Station. I don't want to be leaving a bag.
Right.
I'm walking away from it.
Yeah, they would have been picking you up for terrorism or some shit.
And I would have missed being on the show. So I walked down 8th Avenue towards Columbus Circle, which is where the CNN building is. And as you're walking that way, Columbus Circle is an area with a lot of news buildings and Sirius radios down there. It's not the shitty area of the city. It's a nicer area of the city, which means there's no fucking homeless people. So I walked.
You're just trying to get rid of a bag of clothes.
Right. So I'm walking with this fucking bag down 8th Avenue, and no cab will pick me up by the fucking way. So I ended up getting picked up by one of those fake cab guys who charged me like a fucking fortune. So I get into that fake cab with my giant fucking bag of scarves, get to the CNN building with my giant bag of scarves, went upstairs to the same floor where there's pictures of Nancy Grace and Dr. Drew on the wall and all the CNN people with my bag of scarves. Like a bum.
You walk into the CNN building.
Yeah, because where am I going to put this fucking bag?
Giant garbage bag of clothes.
It was a black fucking contractor bag.
That's awesome.
That I walked with, this heavy fucking bag in freezing
Going in to do
weather.
Dr. Drew with a contractor bag.
Yes. I was freezing,
That's
carrying
great.
this heavy, instead of having just like a little light pocketbook and do down the city, I'm dragging this fucking heavy contractor bag. And I can't leave it anywhere. And it was heavy.
You're dragging it across the
trying
sidewalk.
to hold it.
The bottom's worn out. The fucking scarves are falling out the
I
bottom.
wish the scarves were falling out because it would have lightened my load. I end up in this, so now I get to the lobby of this thing where I gotta to give them my name so I can go upstairs. I look like this fucking bum. Like who's going upstairs to
the security
HLN?
guy's like, you're leaking scarves on the floor. Do you know you have a hole in your bag of scarves?
Do you have a home? Is this every possession you've ever owned?
Oh, you're here for the homeless segment. Yeah, it's right upstairs on the 3rd floor.
So not
and
only
the soup kitchen's on the 1st floor. Why don't you go help yourself to a nice bowl of soup and we'll,
Not only did I get this thing upstairs with me and to the green room while I'm waiting, but then after I was done being on the show, I had to then proceed to take the bag of scarves back with me now. So now I'm walking back up 8th Avenue, and it's even colder out than it was when I first went.
You start putting some scarves on. Right? Think about it, man. I mean, you could lighten up that bag, wrap a couple around your neck, tie a few on your head like a bandana.
Oh, God. I really should have.
Yeah.
I ended up getting into one of those pedicabs with the plastic, that covers it because it was so fucking cold out because I couldn't catch a cab. Nobody fucking stopped for me in my homeless bag.
Oh, that's what you want to be when it's freezing out. You want to be in a fucking bicycle cab with a clear plastic tent around it, the same plastic you had on your cat crap couch. Did that remind you of like the cat crap couch?
Right? Oh,
it
my
sounds
God.
like a Ted Nugent song. Cat crap couch. cat crap. I can't even say that.
Oh, my God.
Like a tongue twister.
So nobody would stop and pick me up because I looked homeless.
Cat crap couch. All right. So I just had to say it at least once clean.
Okay.
I'm good.
So then I ended up making my way in this fucking pedicab all the way back down to Penn Station with the bag, down into the train station with the bag.
Should have gave it to the guy on the bicycle riding the cab guy. He was probably freezing his nuts off,
I don't know, but ended up getting back on the fucking Long Island Railroad with my bag of scarves.
And brought them all the way home
them
again.
Back all the way home again. What a fucking asshole!
He dragged a giant bag of scarves all the way to the city, and then dragged it all the way back to Long Island.
Yes,
that's awesome.
What a fucking loser! I swear to God. Oh,
and
God.
I will have everyone know that giant bag of scarves is still here. It's still here in this house.
It might be.
I'm putting that shit out on the curb.
It might be in the trunk of my car because I got a lot of clothes in there and bags that I still have yet to bring to the thrift store. I don't like to throw anything away. Like, I always hope that I'm going to see like a homeless person be like, "Oh, hey, here, take this bag."
Yeah.
I just never happen to.
They'll be like, hit the fucking lotto because like you're giving away shit with the tag still on it from fucking Saks.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. If I had more time, I would like eBay, but I just don't. So anyway,
whoever gets the bag of clothes from you is going to be like
score.
Yeah, they're gonna put that shit on Craigslist and like they won't be homeless anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So anyway, where I was going with that was that this guy donated these little tiny houses for the homeless people, and the city was getting complaints from people who had to walk in the streets to avoid them. So. Listen to this. Authorities destroyed needles, drug setups, and a gun seized from one or more of the houses and tents during one of the earlier cleanups. It's like if you see the little house rocking, don't come knocking.
Yeah, so they got the tiny house under the overpass.
Right.
The windows are like all closed up with tinfoil. This like smoke coming out of the cracks of it. Yeah, it's like a fucking smoke shack. Right, and the thing's like rocking back and forth,
Yep.
There's an orgy going on in there or something.
Yep.
All right, so the cops come and they confiscate the tiny house?
Yeah. Yeah.
What
so
do they do? They drag it up on the flatbed and take it away, I guess?
Yes. When they take the house, they don't offer housing to the people. They just straight kick them out their house. They're like, out, and they take the house.
So they kick them. Let me get this straight. They kick them out of their tiny house, which has been provided by this nice person.
Yep.
Now assembled under the overpass. They kick them out of their tiny house onto the street again,
Yep.
and the cops drive off with the tiny house.
Right.
Which I could tell you right now, very much like on 4th of July, when most cops ride around and they confiscate everyone's fireworks, and then you go to that same cop's house on his block on 4th of July, and they got the best damn fireworks show on the whole neighborhood, right?
Right.
Yeah, because they got everybody's fireworks in the trunk. So I'm thinking somebody's got some tiny house in his backyard. I don't know. What do you think they're doing with those houses? Are they auctioning them off, or where are they going?
They're supposed to destroy them. They're supposed to put
So,
them...
why destroy it? Why not just give it back to the guy who built them? Hey, man, you know what?
Politics.
You can't put these things out on city property. Come and pick them up.
Yeah. Well, the guy is trying to get them back who built them. He hasn't accomplished that as of yet, because once they confiscate something, there's an impound, or,
Right.
if they destroy it or they sell it. When they have confiscated items. So
Yeah, but it's like it was involved in a crime or something. I mean, the guy should be able to get the thing back, you would think, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he tried to do something nice.
That's what I was just going to say. There you go. I've said it a million times. No good deed goes unpunished. That's it. Do something nice for somebody you wind up getting kicked in the nuts. That's what happens. Yeah, for real.
Right.
Not only does the guy, they throw the people out of the tiny house, but they keep the tiny house.
Yes.
So now the guy's good deed went to the wayside, and he didn't even get the house back.
Right.
Yeah. I think somebody's got to sit down with LAPD.
Yeah. I have issue, this is my thing. I love giving away things to people in need. I love to, because if I can't use it, or I have too much, I love to give things to people. I have a couple of coworkers, one who was a victim of Hurricane Sandy, whose house you just rebuilt.
Yes, I did.
New house you just rebuilt, I should say. And another one who lost her home to a fire, her entire building. Her father owned an apartment building that she lived in, as did her sister and her pets. She lost absolutely everything as well. And both of those friends, or not even I don't even they weren't friends, they're coworkers who, I'm friendly with.
Right.
I gave them both everything I could. I gave them a
vacuum
vacuum
some
and brand new
furniture
hair dryer,
and
tons of
clothes,
clothing,
right? Yeah.
and tons
nice
of
thing to
clothing
do.
and toiletries and everyday things that you need. I just gave them both. Thank God they were a year apart, so because I wouldn't have had enough. You know what I mean? But when I how I buy things in bulk, you always say I buy
there's
backup.
no toilet paper in the house.
I
keep giving it away.
I had a backup
along with all my scarves. Damn it.
I had a backup Chi hair dryer that I had bought because I buy backup because if I like something, I buy extra in case it breaks. I gave that to Kristen. I gave her my brand new Chi hair dryer. I gave her a whole vacuum. I don't care if I don't use it, if I don't need it, and you can use. I want to give it to you. So I can. The thing with me is those were good recipients to give to. With these tiny houses, how do you know who these people aren't convicted felons, drug addicts that are going to not make good use of the house? You know what I mean? Where they're going to use it to their advantage so they can hide criminal activity. That's the part that bothers me. How do you decide who gets a house? If you're on Oprah, you get a house, and you get a house, and you get a house, But there's only so many tiny houses and thousands of homeless people.
Right.
How is it? I mean, people
wonder if there
were
was
literally
a homeless tiny house lottery that was.
I don't know, but people were caught doing illegal things in there, like in prostitution and stuff like that. But meanwhile, there's homeless people with children. Maybe you should have sought them out first to give them the tiny houses.
Well, maybe they did. Maybe there were kids in there.
I don't know, but I know that people were caught with drugs in the tiny houses.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. But then again, all the criminals will say they planted it. It wasn't me. It wasn't mine.
It wasn't
they
mine.
set me up.
Yeah, it wasn't mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I fucking yelled at a guy yesterday. Oh, my God. It was another one. This guy had a lifetime of fucking crime. A lifetime. And he was on for 3 indictments that I interviewed him for yesterday. And every last one of them, the police set me up, and they put a sleeve of heroin, they planted on him, and they lied about all this shit that is just at some point and usually I'm used to hearing these excuses,
Right.
but for some reason this guy got so under my skin that I felt my blood start to boil, and I couldn't even let him finish telling his stories. I was like, all right, you got to stop. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. You have not taken accountability for one thing that you have done. You have sat here and blamed everybody else. You blame the police who arrested you, and they set you up, and other people set you up, and you didn't do anything, and they're making up stories about you. I can't take another second of it. Oh my God. It's like, what is it? A fucking manual? Did they buy the fucking manual? It says, 3 rules. I didn't do it. It's not mine, and they set me up.
Absolutely.
Fuck.
That's class 101 for criminal. Deny.
I can't stand it.
There you go.
So this story struck a chord with me. Very former top model Cheryl Tiegs has criticized the current Sports Illustrated cover model. And I'm really just disgusted with it. Ashley Graham. I don't know if you've seen the cover of Sports Illustrated. Can you stop with that, please? Thank you. I don't have your undivided attention.
Go ahead.
Ashley Graham, have you seen her on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
She's the plus size.
She doesn't like to be called plus size because she's pretty much basically normal size as compared.
Pretty girl.
Yeah, beyond pretty. I personally find her to be the most beautiful of all models.
Most of all models.
Of all models.
Really?
Yeah, I can't find not one other model that, like, when I look at her face, I'm like, oh my God, that is the most beautiful face I've ever seen.
Wow.
Besides yours, of course.
Out of all models,
Yes.
she's the most beautiful.
I think she is the most beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely. I think she's very sexy. She is heavier than your average model, which is why she's become so popular, because she's making these covers and she's getting these jobs that normally the toothpicks would be getting.
Right.
So anyway, Cheryl Tiegs was asked, she was at some event, what she thought about it, and she said that she doesn't like it and that she thinks that it's unhealthy and that people should have a 35-inch waist or smaller, as according to Dr. Oz. And she's like, just saying, that's what Dr. Oz said. So,
but 35-inch waist is like, it's not. Yeah, I mean that's not like exactly a tiny waist, right?
I have way over a 35-inch waist. I really do.
Really?
Yes.
35?
Yes, I have over a 35-inch waist.
Wow.
And look at me. I wear a size like 4, like 4, 6.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, then.
Yes.
Okay.
So with that in mind, fuck you, Cheryl Tiegs. You're a douche.
So basically she's saying that, heavy girls shouldn't be in the magazine. They shouldn't be modeling. Shouldn't be on covers and stuff like that because it's setting a bad example.
Yes.
For what? For young girls that are looking up to these?
Yes. Right. And that she is like a symbol of being unhealthy. She's promoting being
funny,
unhealthy.
I know quite a few models, and it's like, especially like back in the day, like back in the 80s when everybody was like super skinny. Every model that I know is like chain smokes, drinks coffee, they're like, super skinny and definitely not a pillar of health by any means.
Not to mention the anorexia and the bulimia,
Well, that's a whole other thing.
Just because somebody's thin doesn't mean they're healthy. They could be like completely malnourished. They could be having rotting teeth and digestive issues because they're throwing up.
Yeah, but I don't think they have rotting teeth if they're on the cover of a magazine.
No, well, that's what binging and purging
Unless you're
does.
on the cover of Crackhead magazine.
No, I'm saying binging and purging, the acid in your stomach eventually harms your teeth when you keep throwing up. My point is that just because you're thin does not mean you're healthy by any means.
Right.
Obesity is just one symptom of what can turn into other health problems.
Of course.
But that's not to say that you're unhealthy. You can be very healthy and be that size. She could be very active. She could be eating healthy. She could be a vegetarian, taking tons of vitamins. There's no reason why she is not healthy.
All that stuff.
So, again, Cheryl Tiegs, you're a douche, and fuck you.
So here's an interesting dilemma that I see with this whole problem. You're telling me that this girl, who's a plus-size model, heavy-set girl, definitely larger than normal size girl, but extremely pretty, right? Mm-hmm. Prettiest face you've ever seen.
The most beautiful face I think I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
See, in my mind, that could cause a dilemma for you because you like the ladies, right? So if the face is that pretty, but she's kind of heavy, is that like a face that you want to, I can't even say it. What do you want to do? Is that, do you want that to be on the top or the bottom? Do you want to sit on that face and cover that face up? Or do you want that, is it like...
Okay, let's put it this way. A girl of that size, I don't want to sit on my face for fear of suffocation. However, that same girl, I could enjoy very much.
I need to know this. I need to know
if she got on her back.
Yeah.
And then I could perform my duties while she was on her back.
Ah, okay. I just got a good vision in my mind now.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good.
Yes.
Oh, good. Thanks for that.
Yes. So there you go.
Wow. I'm so glad you answered that question.
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. I have, actually, have I been with a heavy chick? I was with, not big, no. I've been with chicks who aren't thin before.
Right. You had to think back through the Rolodex of women that you've been with.
It's been a long time, baby. I've been with you for a while, and then I was married before you for a while.
Right.
So it's been a while since I was a philanderer of the ladies.
A philanderer?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was philandering. I was enjoying my single life back then. Like before I got married to my wife.
Yeah.
I loved just having my own place and being independent and being single and doing what I wanted, like dating who I wanted and having a whole I could just sample everybody.
Sample everything.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. A girl, especially on Long Island in New York, a girl that looks like me, who's a lesbian, is a fucking superstar. Okay, it's like like if you weren't popular in high school.
Is
and
it geographically sensitive, like on Long Island only? Like,
because you know how picture in L.A. The vision you get in your mind of L.A. it is reality. Actually, everybody there's plastic or has Botox or boobs or they're thin. They're surfer girls, long blonde hair. Everybody. The vision in your mind is the reality of California.
I hate all of those things. There's a terrible vision in my brain right now. Barbie dolls everywhere.
Long Island lesbians, New York lesbians, not like that. There's the majority of them are, if they're feminine, they're not out at the bars or the places where you're going to actually meet them. It's mostly the bull dykes, the butch chicks, the heavy ones.
Bull dykes.
Yeah. Yeah, so all of them go to a bar looking for me, and I go to a bar looking for to see is there anybody else here different tonight? And I'm not trying to be conceited. I'm just stating the facts. I'm not saying I'm so great, I'm so beautiful. I'm not doing that at all. What I'm saying is, I have been to these bars. I for a very, very long time, I went to these bars, and I was looking to meet people because really...
The single scene back in the day.
Right. Where do you,
this is you're talking about years ago anyways.
In the early 2000s, yeah. Where are you to meet singles other than, and especially in that community, they're not hanging out in straight bars. This is prior to Tinder
and all these other... app sites and everything else, which now you can just swipe away.
Right. Swipe left or whatever. Yeah. That wasn't very popular back then. I did meet some people online, but I met somebody that lived in California, and it's to find the one that you think is attractive, the likelihood is that they're in your neighborhood is nearly zero. Right. So you're going to go to there's very few lesbian bars for one, okay? 2, not many people go to them, and 3, the ones that do are very limited pickings. So
they're slim pickings.
Yes. So when I tell you that when I go there, I was very lucky to find the couple that I did. The first one turned out to be retarded. The second one turned out to be a fucking shitty wife. That just goes to figure. I probably would have been better off. And I told you I dated an ugly because I got so sick of it that I dated an ugly chick. Finally. Just saying, okay, stop being so shallow and give somebody a chance. And I did. Right. And then it turned out she was ugly on the inside just as much as on the outside.
Oh, it was a double whammy.
Yeah. So, my point is that there's much better pickings out in places like California. If you're single and lesbian, y'all need to go to California. Okay.
I will vouch for that.
Yeah. So,
There was some
Now
fine
that
looking
that
women
was
out
that was your lesbian lessons, everybody.
there. All right. I hope you're all paying attention.
Yeah. So if all of you are thinking about transgender, and you want to become, like if a man wants to become a lesbian, a female, and he's a lesbian because he's still into women, he needs to go to California.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just saying that's how the men could benefit from my advice as well.
Okay, there you go. For all you out there that fit that criteria, now you know what to do.
Yeah. Caitlin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can meet Caitlin.
Because Caitlin's a lesbian.
Okay.
Right. Caitlyn Jenner.
The whole thing is confusing.
Yes.
Yeah. Just yeah. I'm good with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's move on.
I wouldn't want to be with a lesbian with a penis, though. I'll tell you that much.
That kind of that throws the whole thing off, right?
It totally does.
Wow.
Yeah, because
it's so confusing.
It is. It's very confusing, and I wouldn't even think of it as like, oh, bonus. I
How
wouldn't.
are you a lesbian with a dick?
No, because I wouldn't think of that as. No, you need to get rid of the dick. You need to have that shit put inside out.
Oh God! All right, now we definitely need to talk about something else.
Okay. Anyway,
yeah.
So
thanks
now,
for that. Yeah.
Everybody, I was really sorry that we had to erase a large part of the episode. So we've got listener questions.
Great. Let's do it.
Yes. Okay, so let me let them up here on my iPad. Oh, listen to this. Let me just hit this one first, Louis Maya. He asked if I ever came over his house to eat, but the food just ain't no good because the macaroni soggy, the peas are mush, and the chicken tastes like wood. Would I try to play it off like I think I could by saying that I'm full? And I think I would just pile some more on my plate and say, I'm not finished. That's bull.
All right, Louis,
All right,
there you
Louis,
go.
that's your answer.
There it is.
Okay. So...
We're not coming over to eat, Louis.
And you better cook me some good shit, motherfucker. You're going to have me over for dinner. I'm going to expect something good. Okay. Listen, this is another question that we didn't hit the last time that we can answer now. Unfortunately for Andrew Ant, his question was, are you ever going to answer any home improvement questions on your home improvement podcast? Listen. I know. Just let me... He wrote, I listened to the first...
Home improvement podcast.
Okay. Can let me finish his question. Then he wrote, I listened to the first 15 and the last 5. Maybe heard 3 in total, so I unsubscribed. Okay, so what happened, because that makes 20. What happened to the, we're up to what, 70 now? 50 in between where we discussed listener questions like we're doing right now. So I guess you missed it. And I said, in case you were under the impression it's a home improvement podcast, but if you would have read the description of the podcast and listened, you'd hear that we talk about a lot of things. But look at that. I read your question. There you go. Hope you're happy.
Too bad
I answered your question.
Too bad you missed it.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. So now we have some DIY question stuff for you.
Good. Let's get to the DIY stuff.
Okay.
Love that stuff.
Stand by.
When helping people with their homes, they call Skip Bedell.
You want to avoid a headache and save money, he's the man to talk to. Skip Bedell.
This is funny. Gary Plummer said, coincidentally, listening to your last episode right now about that cunt, Judge Millian. Pete Corbett said, I started a new job today, and the lady was nice enough to offer me water from the fridge and showed me where the bathroom was. If you remember when we talked to Kayleen McCabe, when we interviewed her.
Oh, yeah.
That was her advice at the end.
Right.
That was her tip. So Pete says he was impressed. Only trouble was it was the guest bathroom, and the paper was folded in a triangle like a hotel. So... would Skip unleash the fury and fold the next piece of paper back, or just leave it torn off, letting the nice lady know that you just shit up her whole bathroom?
Fold it. Anything you can do to make the place cleaner than it was when you got there, because when you go in someone else's house, whether they invite you to use their bathroom or not, we like to use porta potties whenever you can, because if you can avoid using people's bathrooms, that's the way to go. Trust me. But if that's not the case, then you need to make sure that it's left in better shape than it was, because it doesn't matter how good you are. You could do the best job in the whole world, any type of service call or construction or contractor job in someone's house. and they could be super happy with your work. But if you leave a mess in the bathroom, or you do some damage in there, or you leave them a couple of presents, or, listen, I've had plenty of situations to where, just simple things like, well, guys leave the seat up and there's like, there's drips on the bowl.
I don't want to clean some stranger's piss.
Honestly, after I'm done with every day of the job, if people are actually living on the job site, many times when at houses people aren't living in it, they come back when we're done working. But if they're occupying the space while we're working, I always do a walkthrough at the end of every day. And there's been many times where I will go and wipe down the bowl, and because the guys that are working in the house, and I lecture everybody about it. Same thing with like cigarette butts and all that. You can't smoke on the property. You want to smoke, go out to your car in the street and make sure you take the cigarette butts with you. But, just things like that, those little things that no matter how good your work is, if someone comes home and sees evidence of people in their house and not in a good way, they're not calling you back.
Yeah.
So,
I'm hearing you say that. That really, I'm very impressed because that you're conscientious like that, even with the cigarette butt thing and checking the toilet, because it's true. If I had somebody over my house fixing something, I don't want to clean up his pee or pick up his cigarettes, disgusting, smelly. Like, you're right.
So you probably would not call them back, even if they did a good job, right? If they left the bowl all peed up.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a good feeling.
Right?
Yeah, it would just leave me with a sour feeling.
You would feel like, the guy wasn't really look, it's like, that's
enough
to, if the work was like a 10, that'll knock down the overall experience to about a 6.
Yeah.
Or maybe less, depending upon the size of the dump you left in the bowl. If you leave a giant nut loaf in there, Pete, it could mean that you're never getting called back again. So if I were you, I would fold the toilet paper and wipe down the bowl and clean the mirror while you're at it, too.
I remember when you and I first met and you were working at that fucking bitch's house, that fucking bitch. Yeah. Remember her with her big, fat, fucking asshole husband?
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me that, too. You had said something to the effect of that you always clean the bathroom after, that you leave it cleaner than when you got there.
I leave everyone's house cleaner than it was when I got there. And that was a particular house that had a house cleaner that came all the time, but they had some animals, they had cats and stuff like that, and there were certain things they were very clean with, there were other things they were not.
Yeah.
And there were plenty of times that I walked through that house. I worked there for on and off for years and did a lot of work in that house. There were plenty of times when I went in the bathroom and wiped down the toilet, wiped down the sink.
That was the type of cunt that would have blamed you for her shit stain.
Yeah.
She was just
and
like that.
There might have even been some time I cleaned up her toilet, that it wasn't even anybody that was there working.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But just in case, because...
Oh, that's the same bitch that you guys just had the new wood floor finished. You had the guy finish it. You guys picked up the furniture, put it down nicely. It was beautiful. The room was done. And then she called you up later on to say that there was a huge scratch in the floor.
Right.
And what happened?
Yeah, so that's an interesting story. So I was there while we're filling this house with all the new furniture again, and the whole room has just been redone, brand new hardwood floors. They just came through and stained them, urethane, and I personally loaded all the furniture and everything back into this room. So then the people come home from work or whatever, and she calls me up and says, the next day she calls and says, there's a giant scratch all the way across the whole floor. All these floors have to be redone. So I went back over there, and I know exactly where we put the furniture because I put it in there. And all the furniture was moved all over the floor in different places. And I'm like, I know what they did. They just dragged the furniture around, and one of the feet underneath the couches didn't have a rubber pad under it or whatever, and they just scratched the whole
because they wanted
floor.
to see what the furniture would look like in a different place.
Yeah, they were moving it around to see what it looked like. Put the couch over here. Let's try it over there. Meanwhile, they tore the whole floor, but it looked like somebody dragged up like
But this fucking bitch was calling you, not realizing that you were personally there moving the furniture, and she's trying to get over as if you left it like that.
That might have been one of the times that I would have had my guys, load the furniture into the room or whatever. I did it myself, so I know exactly where everything went. And I don't think she realized I was there that day.
Yeah, no, she was one of those. She was one of those typical cunts that tried to get over and get free shit.
Yeah, there are people that will do that, and it's unfortunate. So sometimes it's the homeowner contractor failure is not always due to the contractor.
Oh, no. It was also that fucking house where her fat, I mean, he was like huge fuck of a husband, had his own bathroom downstairs. And you guys were working on that bathroom. You had your guys there. And he actually accused you of stealing his extra fucking giant towels. Like you wanted the fucking towels that he wiped his ass with.
He had some custom towels that were like the size of like a car cover that he could wrap around.
Yep. And he fucking deducted $100 from what he owed you for the towel that you didn't fucking take.
Yeah. So, these are the type of things that when this stuff happens, and Pete, if you're working on a job and, you'll know that sometimes you gotta do what you got to do to make the customer happy, but then you just don't answer the call when they call the next time. So, and that's exactly what I did. That was a customer that I had for years. It probably spent multiple six figures with me over the years, doing their entire house, room by room, everything you could possibly imagine. And, I won't do work for them again because,
I fucking begged you not to do any more work for them because you were getting.
They want me to put in new floors because they scratched them. They want me to replace the towel that whatever happened to it. He decided to use it as a.
And that was just a couple of examples of the things that they did to take advantage of you and your kindness.
Yeah, well, that's the type of stuff.
But it stressed you out.
But it does because I care too much, and that's where I'm going with this answer that turned into a very long one. Pete, thanks a lot. Fold the damn toilet paper, but yeah, you got to do whatever you can do to make the customer happy and make them realize that you care about their house, even if it means that you leave it cleaner than it was when you got there. And that will ensure, hopefully, that you're getting callbacks, assuming that you're doing good work in addition to all that stuff. But like I said, you could do the best work in the world if you don't leave the house clean and you do stuff like, leave the bathroom messed up or cigarette butts or just stuff like that. Drive on the lawn, with a truck, when you're backing in. Any little thing like that. I've had stuff like that too, where people come home and one of the guys backed in like, a truck in the driveway, but one tire got off the driveway a little bit onto the grass, and it left like a tire track on the grass.
Yeah.
Had to replace the entire lawn, and it's like, it was only 6 inches of grass. But I don't want that section cut in. It's going to look different than all the rest. Oh, God. So I had to resod like half the damn lawn.
That's fucked up.
And I did.
I had a tree removal company.
And I did.
Roll over, like those root removing, whatever, big machines, I told them specifically, do not go across my front lawn because that's where the cesspool is. And he did. And he collapsed my cesspool. And then when it came time I tried to go through his insurance because I wanted them to pay for it, of course, because he did what I told him not to do, and he broke it, and he lied, and he said, no, she never told me that. And long story short, they did, and I ended up having to replace my own fucking cesspool. But in the end, now because of that bullshit, I would have happily referred him. Which I now, after that bullshit, it's like people are only going to hear bad things about him. Right. It's like, and even things like that, like you talk about with the toilet paper or whatever. Right. You know what I mean? People, what's that expression about how you always hear about the bad shit, but never the squeak? Well, I don't know, whatever. Right. People hear about the bad shit, never about the good.
Well, I can tell you, if someone takes the time to fold their toilet paper like you see in a hotel room, that means that that's important to them.
Yeah.
So make sure that it's important to you too.
Thanks for that question, Pete. Paul Doctor. A couple of questions for Skip.
Okay.
Skip's tip. Where is the best place to find out house codes when doing remodels? What's your favorite brand of power tool? Oh my God, this is just a plethora of questions. First, answer this first one. Where's the best place to find out house codes when doing remodels?
Your local building department, wherever you're building. And sometimes it's an incorporated village or a township. If not, then in the city, there will be a building department that has all the inspectors come out and enforce all those codes. So many times the code will be specific to where you're working. There are national building codes and standards that do carry through from state to state and across the country. But some things will vary from location. So the first thing you want to do is contact your local building department, who are going to be the ones inspecting that work, and ask them if you're doing, let's say, whatever the type of work it is that you're doing, if you can get a copy of the code. You can also find it online. You can even, go right online and just put that information in. So if you're working, let's say, in Long Beach, California, you can go in and look for the codes for a specific type of job right by that description, right on the internet. And it'll usually take you to a page right out of the code book, which, by the way, is kind of like a phone book. It's a tremendous amount of information. So any way you can narrow it down, that would do yourself a favor. Be very specific about what it is that you're looking for when you do your search.
I also wanted to throw in, also being a government employee and working with the law, you're always going to also want to look for the smallest level of government that addresses that particular topic. So you might, like where we live, there is a Brookhaven town, and then there's Port Jefferson Village. But within Port Jefferson Village, there's also Belterre, which is an even smaller community, but they have their own community. So it's like you have to go to the smallest level also to see if they have additional codes that are specific to that very small area.
Wherever you're working, you're gonna find out who's doing the inspections in that area, and that will tell you. That narrows it down right there. So if it's an incorporated village, they're going to have their own building department and their own inspectors
with extra codes even on top of the ones at the higher level.
Yeah, they might have their own codes because they might have different environmental circumstances there. Like when we're out in Los Angeles County as opposed to here in New York, there's all sorts of structural codes that are very different because of all the seismic activity. It has to do with so many different things that codes are different from place to place. So just make sure you look up and be very specific as to where you're working, and you'll find out what you want to know.
He also asked, what's the best thing to remember when starting a home improvement business?
Oh, good Lord. Make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Make sure that you are fully certified, licensed, and trained to do what you're doing, the trade that you're doing, because it'll always come back to bite you if you're not. Have all the credentials, fully insured, and then some, because you're always going to need to use it at one point or another. And all that stuff is usually required when you get your license anyway. Outside of all the business stuff that's just kind of common sense, all those things that you need to have a good workforce of people, because you're only as good as the people that you bring on the job. So obviously you can't do every job yourself. So if you're going to be doing general contracting work or home remodeling, that type of thing. Most people get into residential as opposed to commercial when they're first time getting into the business. I would hope that you have a lot of experience under your belt and you've worked for someone else for many, many years, because that's the key to, at least one of the keys to having a successful business in this industry, is that you need to have that experience, that on-the-job experience, and you get that from being on the job. So if you're someone that you just decided that you don't want to have your desk job anymore and you're going to decide to go into construction, probably not a good idea. If you've been around the trades for a long time and you feel it's the right time for you to make the move, then just make sure you have all the credentials and everything lined up, and make sure you have reliable, good people, because, again, you're only as good as the people that you bring on that job. You could be the most conscientious person in the world, but if you have guys there that don't care and do stuff like we were talking about before, then you're basically going to be, as they say, pissing in the wind. Okay. There you go.
You're going to get into power. He asked what your favorite brand of power tools is. Do you have a simple answer for that?
I do. I have probably a mixture of a lot of Milwaukee, DeWalt, and Makita. I'd say probably the three major brands, which, they're major, commercial grade, professional grade tools. They last a long time. They're a little more expensive than some of the homeowner grade. I'm a fan of DeWalt. I have a lot of DeWalt stuff, so I would say probably out of all three of those brands, I'm a DeWalt guy. Although I got to tell you, I just got a new set of M18 Milwaukee tools, the brushless, cordless set of impact driver and drill, and it is a very impressive set. Lightweight, the batteries have tremendous life, super torque and power, and a lot of nice features, all metal parts. So check out Milwaukee too.
Okay.
There you go.
This next question is from Donald Bennett. Little side note about Donald Bennett. He was my first boyfriend in middle school.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Well, then he and I have a bunch to talk about.
Oh, no, you don't. There was not really much to talk about.
Yeah.
I think it was 7th grade. And I remember he lived in, I think at the time in Bellport. His father had a boat by the water. I think that was like my first serious makeout session.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Donald. Nice.
Yeah. He's now married to a girl that I was friendly with in high school as well. We stay in touch on Facebook still.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's ended up getting married much later on.
Sure.
Had other people and then got together. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. You end up marrying somebody that you knew like your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so
Right.
I guess he's in the biz, and he said, please talk about budgets for a construction project. A contractor can foresee all problems which can arise during a project when giving an estimate. Consumers need to learn that if they have $100,000 to spend, they should only budget $750,000 or $75,000 worth of work. There are way too many unforeseen things that can happen.
Totally agreed. I always tell people to figure in a big cushion, anywhere from 15 to 25% as a minimum, in addition to what you think you're going to want to spend or what you can afford to spend. So I think that you're pretty on point with what you're saying. Those numbers work out. Always have that cushion fund off to the side, because as we know, if you're in the business, Donald, every time you open up a wall, you find something that you didn't anticipate being there. It means a bunch of change orders, a bunch of additional charges, and the homeowners usually aren't happy to get that news, but many times it's often these are things that have to be addressed right now. We can't go further until this is addressed, be it mold, rot, termite damage. There's a million different things, antiquated electric, plumbing, all kinds of stuff that maybe wasn't anticipated in the initial estimate and figured into the contract price. So yeah, I agree with you. I think when I talk to people too, when I sell jobs, I always tell them very similar information, kind of worded a little bit differently. I call it, that rainy day fund or a cushion for the unexpected things. So yeah, that's really great advice, and I would back you up on that 100%.
Okay. There was a couple more questions, but they weren't skip tip related. So I'm just going to hit a couple real quick.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay, so Derek Berlinski said, we always hear about the criminals that get off scot-free or just get probation after doing crimes over and over. Has there ever been a time when one of the criminals was actually telling the truth and was found out they did not do anything wrong? Or are they always lying assholes? Okay, so I'm going to say I think that they're always lying assholes. I think... I'm sure that there are times when somebody gets, there's a lot of, in the criminal justice system.
So you asking, are people charged with crimes that they didn't commit and then it's found out that they actually were innocent? Is that what he's saying?
I can't really say because,
You don't see those people. Everyone that you see is a convicted criminal.
Yeah, but
Right.
Were they convicted because they got set up? They all say that they were set up.
Right. It wasn't me, man. It was somebody that looked just like me.
I interviewed a guy today it was actually very refreshing. From his criminal record, he just looked like a real piece of shit. He was convicted of firearm sales and also drug sales. And according to him, what had happened was he was an addict. He's a heroin addict. He got convicted a couple years ago of robbing a bank. He's an addict. He's not the kind of, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have a house. He doesn't have a lot of money. He doesn't have a car. He's just he's a fucking addict who's scraping to get whatever drugs he can get. So apparently there was a guy he was getting his drugs from. This particular guy at some point said, if you get this gun over to this other guy, get $700 from him for this gun, I'll give you some bundles of heroin. So he says that, of course he did it. He did this exchange of the gun. And then at some point he did it again for the guy. And according to him, he was set up for this. And so, again, I didn't talk to the detectives yet. I don't know the whole story. Informants are used to get other criminals, So, and I said, well, why would they set you up to do this if you're not a gun, I wouldn't just, pick whoever at random, I would go to the guy who I know sells guns, or I would get drugs from the guy who I know sells drugs. I'm not going to just pick anybody. Right. Why are they picking you? And he said, he didn't know, because a lot of times people will get lighter sentences if they flip other people in. And I could imagine that in a non-perfect world, people do turn in people. They say that they've got more people to turn in, so because the more you give, the more you'll get off your sentence. I'm sure that happens in the world.
Sure.
This particular guy, I kind of believed him, but that's only because I only spoke to him. I didn't talk to the detectives yet. But what I did admire about this one particular criminal was, despite the fact that he was blaming his situation on being set up, like a manufactured situation, he did take accountability that he said, but in the end, I did do it. I took the gun, I gave it to the guy in exchange for money, to get my drugs. I did it, So ultimately, he sold a gun. You know what I mean? Whether it was for somebody else, he exchanged a gun for money from somebody else.
That might have been the only time you ever heard someone say, "Yep, it was me. I did."
You know what? And I said that to him too. I said, it's very refreshing, and I'll tell you, I do this every day, and I'm hearing people every day say, I was set up. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I said, and I really admire the fact that you're able to admit what you did wrong. And I said, and that's even though you're going to be in jail for the next 9 years, or I should say prison for the next 9 years. I think that
take comfort in knowing that I commend you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's a pat on the back, and let me send you on your way when you start serving that 9 years.
He appreciated it, actually. Yeah. He was thankful, and it made him feel good. And I think as a human being, or somebody maybe learning a lesson, or growing, I don't know that it'll make a difference in 9 years once he's hardened and he's been in prison for, but. Right. As far as, I think it was like an epiphany for him. I really respected that he took responsibility for what he did at the most basic level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
there you go. There's an answer to your question.
Yeah, so I for the most part, I believe that everybody lies and are assholes, but, not everybody.
Just about everybody.
Almost everybody.
Do we have any more DIY questions?
I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah. This is a wood-related question. Mike Mahoney. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A lot of wood.
It's a lot of fucking wood. You ever see their cheeks?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. They just fill it up to the maximum.
Yeah, it's like a whole quart of wood. Yeah. At least a full pallet. At least a full pallet. There you go, Mike.
You asked.
You asked. There it is.
Shit. So listen, people, we are officially on our new server. It seems to have gone smoothly. There was a little bit of technical difficulties a couple days ago, but it was only for the first half of the day. Hopefully you are hearing this glitch-free. Hopefully, if you did have glitches, you remembered that I told you about hammerandnailspodcast.com, where you can always find our episodes and the episode summaries. I put the links to the products that we talked about, if any, like for the ladies. I spoke about makeup on the last one. I put the links to the products. You spoke about some screw head driver holder or something, sleeve.
Screw
I
driving
put a link
tips.
to that. I put a link to that, so you can just buy that and get it in 2 days from, Amazon.
If you guys go on skippadell.com, you'll find all kinds of Skip's Tips videos and other helpful things, the tools that I recommend and all kinds of stuff. I do actually talk about tools and DIY stuff. It's not always banter about
farts.
Yeah. And sex talk with my wife.
Yeah. So also, you know what, people, this is also really important to us because, again, it costs us a lot of money every month to do this podcast, but we enjoy it, and we like getting the feedback from you guys. So apparently you're enjoying it too, the three of you that are writing to us. If you guys could be so kind as to use the Amazon banner, it's on every page of our website. If you shop at Amazon, just remember us and just click on that banner. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but we do use that money towards paying our monthly expenses for the podcast, and we have to, the equipment costs a lot of money, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, we appreciate it, guys.
With
we
that,
really do.
There's also a subscription.
And make sure you tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. There's a subscription also on our website that if you guys wanted to just sign up for it, $2 a week is, that $1 podcast episode. That also helps us out a lot. We put that towards the monthly cost of all the bandwidth and all the expenses that go along with running a podcast.
And we do appreciate all of that. We appreciate you guys listening and coming back and giving us all your questions and all the great feedback. And tell a friend, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, and we love you.
Later.
Bye.